more. So it looks like I'm on a daily trips to check instead of just,
All right. That's John's.
no one else to do.
Good, I think I gotta go.
I gotta get a pen
No.
because I have some,
This is yours.
there's some stuff over here.
Where's the other stacks on the computer? Oh, thank you, Roy. This is the appropriations. Is this your top? Oh, yours. Oh, yeah. Well,
Well, I don't know.
and you have yours.
I wonder now, I have to say.
So, what does she got? How many does she got?
She's got one of each.
Okay, then why is there next? Oh, Debbie.
Did you?
Here, would you give this to Debbie? One's appropriations, one's revenue.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Keep me straight, Roy, keep me straight. Let me turn that off. I don't think I need any of this securities in my records. I don't need 25 cents.
Yeah. Yeah, she seemed like she was. I mean, I know right now that one was a little fun because a couple of the kids are leaving and so she's new. And so this is her first year of vacation. I'm like, it's hard. It's hard. It happens. I'm ready to find more. I think it's good though. I think it's.
I haven't even looked at that yet, so I just got it today. Hi, Sarah. Hi. Did that little problem with that's
I have my friend Nick.
Okay. Glad to hear it. Did we have any people or no? We didn't do it.
Cornhole, no, I didn't do it.
That would break my heart. Yeah.
Did you put the boards out for them to play with or no? No.
You only had 3 people sign on, so the 3 teams.
That's a shame.
I went there for the first time.
You
Did she tell you last week?
No.
Last Friday, I think it was. And took my grandkids there. I've never been there.
Yeah.
And they had the best time, just
Oh, good.
playing in the water. Had to yell at some boy that was playing in the water because he
Splashing.
no, I think he didn't understand. He was a bigger boy and he kept grabbing onto my 6-year-old granddaughter who's tiny. And but I don't think he understood. I think he had some,
Should I make, do you guys
Very
want
nice.
copies of that local law that was in the last budget? Should we make copies? Do you need a copy of that again?
I don't think I need a copy. Do you want a copy of it?
I mean, it's just the public hearing for it.
But
You didn't make an
in case you
agenda
need
for the
to-
public hearing, right? Because I can pull it out of last week's packet, just.
I have a copy of it right here.
Oh, you do? Oh, let me just make one just in case somebody wants one.
Oh, there's some really good people. You give up hope and then they snap out of the
Something surprises you.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. I always said, when you meet somebody, you don't define them of what you need at first. You look for the best quality you can find and zone into that and try to go from there. At least what I tell my daughter. Try to leave the negatives out for people.
Yeah.
No, I was just saying I've got some messages. I've got some good people that are kind of going to step up and help you a little bit with my situation.
Oh, nice, nice.
Because I can't be there all the time.
I don't know if we want to put this on our website. We got it in my committee meeting today for senior day at the fair, but I can post it. They get free.
How old do you have to be a senior?
Guess what? I'm one now.
Wait, what's the age?
It said 60.
Wow.
I get in the fair
I
for
got a
free.
couple
I
more
turned
years.
60 on
I got a
Friday.
few more years. Not many.
It was the best birthday ever. My kids ordered takeout from Frank. I didn't have to do a dish or cook.
That's the best.
It was so phenomenal.
It's 90-degree weather out there, and my daughter wanted chicken noodle soup, homemade chicken.
And
noodle
tomorrow I
soup.
get to
Oh
go
my
to
gosh.
60 plus lunch at the church. I can go. I got to pay $2, but I can go.
The little purse.
I'm
Listen,
so
I got excited when I went to Denny's and found out it was 55 plus.
All right, what time Is this that clock right? Who's that off? Oh, we're
6:05.
over. Oh, let's call the public hearing to order for the local law to modify the salary of the town clerk. Anybody want to say anything?
We need some people.
No, it's sad. It's so sad. I'm surprised Mike's not here. I really thought he would come.
It made me sad, but it's only Saturday when the room's full.
I know.
That's true, but then we have a problem.
It don't matter what business you're in.
So, and I think we did this for 15 minutes, right?
Mhm.
So, and we're waiting for John anyway. So. And then I did email the lawyer to write the proposition because it's got to be handed in by the 7th. And Deb, I'm going on because you requested it, like a request of the town clerk. Do you want me to put a conflict with hours, or do you want me to put because going remotely an appointment?
No, and I'd really like that my personal stuff is not in the local law. As far as outside employment, that's not anybody's business, anything I do outside of here.
Well, this is what the lawyer wrote up.
Right, that's my private. If it's here, I'm a public employee. But,
Well, because I don't know how he's going to word this, and I don't.
and it's
yeah.
also not due to outside employment right now. I am not employed full-time anywhere. I am,
Well, you put because of conflict. You told us, you emailed us a conflict of afternoon hours. So do we put that in the proposition? Is that what you want? Or do you want because you want to
no,
change?
I'm not agreeing to any of that right now because I am putting in 40 plus hours currently, and I don't know if there will be a change. I cannot foresee the future. So I don't have any conflict in putting in my 40 hours.
Well, we
at this
got,
time.
but you requested to reduce your salary to 20,000.
No, I said that I was throwing out numbers to you. That's what I was trying to explain to you, and you kept on harping that you wanted something. And I said, I don't really know, I'm just trying
the
to,
budget.
I said, I would reduce it to 20 if the deputy was increased. You said the board is not gonna go for that.
Well,
So
we don't know till now. I put everybody at 2% in the budget.
I think the deputy should be more than 2%.
Well, I got your request right here, 20,000 and 1944.
I mean, you started a beach attendant at a high school for more money than a grown woman handling vital records.
With a CPR certification.
Right, but that doesn't have anything to do with, it's a
Yeah, it's something
seasonal
we
job
didn't, it's
that,
something we didn't have to pay for. And that's the other thing, it's a seasonal job that is seasonal.
I would just like to see the front office be more respected for the amount of work that they do. And the deputy is really stepping up and doing a lot of work, and I'd like to see the deputy compensated. And so therefore, I would be willing to take a decrease if the deputy is compensated fairly.
Well,
And
I don't know
that's-
how he's gonna word the proposal, but if tonight no one's coming to oppose the proposal going on the ballot, it's gonna go on the ballot. So
I'm
we
gonna ask
gotta,
again, my personal information and nothing to do with me specific. It's the town clerk position, not me.
so I'll tell him that you don't want that, but I mean, you told us you were gonna do remotely and by appointment.
Yep.
So
Which means
I
the work
think
is still being done.
right, so I think we can put that in there remotely and by appointment.
And I don't feel that's a reason to reduce the salary if I'm still putting in 40 hours.
Well, but that's what you're gonna change to, so we gotta have a reason why we're reducing it. And I think that's a legit reason.
I think you're reducing it because you're not understanding the context of the town clerk position. Like, we didn't reduce the supervisor when the accountant did most of the work. We didn't reduce the supervisor when historically the previous supervisors were in the office a lot more than the current supervisor. So when you're doing the math to divide out the number of hours that I'm here, that's not the number of hours to get the job done. I still have to get the job done.
I can prove that in the last 12 years, you have been here 40 hours consistently, pretty much until the last 2 years. You have been in this office 40 hours plus consistently for the last 10 years. So that being said, I think it's gonna be because you want to do appointments and work more remote. I'll say more remotely. I don't know what to say. We're gonna say something.
But
Because
if
the
you
public
reduce
needs
it
to
and
know.
the job has to get done, who's gonna do the job? Because it wouldn't be fair to ask somebody to continue to do the same
Well,
job.
we might have
For
to
less
hire another deputy to get more hours in office, because right now, we have 16, you were here 16, right? Is that 8 to noon? 8 to 12:30?
I'm here 7:30, 8 o'clock until, anywhere between 7:30 and 8 until 12:30. And then
So,
I am home all the rest of the hours.
so 4.5 hours in office. And then remotely, 4 to
What's
whatever.
that, 4.5, I'm coming up with, yeah, 4.5 to 5.
Well, generally, you're here at 8. You open the door, you unlock the door at 8, whether you come in at 7 or 8. or-
Actually, I've just been unlocking it as soon as I get here, 7:30, 7:45, I unlock it.
Well, you posted the hours as 9 to 1. So no one would come before 9 because the hours are posted 9 to 1. On the website and on the door is 9 to 1. Am I
But I'm
correct?
here and I'm
But they
working.
don't know it because it's
But I'm
not
still
posted.
working, I'm still doing work in the office, whether there's somebody
I'm not
standing-
gonna argue with you.
But
It's
wait,
just,
if there's somebody
there's gonna
standing
be,
at the
it's gonna
counter or
have,
not.
in the proposition going, it's gonna be because of reduced office hours. It's got to be. Because, reduced office hours, because of reduced office hours. Do you guys agree with that? Remotely
Well, I don't
and,
know how else we could write it.
yeah,
I don't know how we could write it so it's not, we need to keep our personal business out of it, but we
it's
just
just
need to figure out.
reduced office hours. Because they've been reduced 3 times in the last.
I don't know how else to write it.
Right, so he's gonna do a video conference tomorrow, because he has it right, it has to be in by August 7th. So, it's gonna be however the lawyer feels fit that he needs to write it, but it will be because of reduced office hours. Because that's the reason. Whether you're working 40, 60, 80, you know, you're asking for $25,000 deduction to work remotely and from home and by
Well, to
appointments.
relieve the taxpayers and give the deputy more money, that's what I'm looking to do.
So how do you want me, you are looking to relieve the
No, that has nothing
taxpayers?
to do with the proposition, that has to do with the budget, the budget has nothing to do with the proposition.
Well, do you want the proposition to say the town clerk is requesting
No,
to reduce the salary because to relieve the taxpayers, and is that what you wanted
No.
to say?
no.
Okay, I'm
Because
asking your
October is
opinion.
not here, and but I've explained this to you, I explained it to you last month, and I've said it.
But
3
you don't
times.
understand, I have to have it in by August. You didn't want us to do the public hearing, we have to do the public hearing because we have to have it in by August 6th. 7th is the cutoff. I have to have it done.
And that
So,
is fine, because you guys are rushing to do it.
no, that's
I
the
don't-
law.
I
I have
don't
to
have-
have it in there so we can work on this year's budget to pass. If we reduce it, we gotta know what the number
Right,
is.
but my job
so
has
we
not
don't-
changed, as of right now, I am still doing the same job I've been doing for over 11 years.
Well, that's
So
not
if
gonna
you
change
wanna-
the 2025 budget, but it may affect 2026 budget, Deb. So if we don't get it passed, it won't affect that budget line at all. If the voters do not pass to reduce the line, it's gonna be what it's gonna be. And
But
it's
if you reduce
45.
that line and then you hire a new town clerk at some point, or a new town clerk runs at some point, it's gonna end up being a negative to the taxpayers to then have to increase that back up 20,000. Or are you thinking you're gonna find a town clerk that's gonna do the work of this town for whatever you reduce it by? If I'm not here in the future and you've now just reduced that line, which was why my idea in the budget was to reduce my line and increase the deputy line, then it doesn't affect the taxpayers. But if you're saying you're not sure they're gonna increase and only by 2%,
Well, we can't do anything unless the taxpayers vote on it, and the taxpayers need a reason why they're voting on it for a reduction. So I have to give them a reason why we're asking for the reduction.
and
I can't say
understand, but
because
we're
the
all
near
in a-
future might be this and it might be that. I'm asking for a reduction because of less office hours.
and
Public
then if-
office
if
hours.
Life things don't change in the future and I am here, now you've just reduced the budget. and expect me to do the same job or somebody else to do the
Well,
same
then
job
we'll
for less
have to
money.
go back and amend the budget and take either.
That will never
That's not
happen.
what this does, though. This gives us the authorization to do that. We're not saying we are
Which is
definitely
what
going
a
to do
board member
that.
has wanted to do for over 2 years because they didn't like my hours. So there is not a chance that once, if that did pass, that it's not gonna be done just to be facetious, but yet the same job still needs to be done.
That doesn't make any sense.
How not?
I would hope that that would not be the case. If something changes with you and nothing changes, like you stay where you are,
Mhm.
I would think that that should be the way it was. I don't
But
think
that's
we should
where
be
I've
reducing
been.
it.
But it's
That's
where
why
I've been for 2 years.
I would vote to reduce that if $20,000 to, unless your hours were not the same.
Change, yeah.
Right,
Yeah,
So we have to say because of reduction in hours.
right.
I think that's the only catch is the hours.
We're not blaming anybody, it's just a reduction in hours. They already know we can't control the hours. We can if we want to do the local law, but that still doesn't make you have to be here.
But if you're specifying that you want to reduce a salary because of reduction in hours, then why are there other salaries not being reduced with a reduction of hours? And an increase to the taxpayers in a burden to the taxpayers in other areas? Why is this the only position being hyper-focused on right now?
Because it's the only position that's changed their hours 3 times in the last year and a half.
Well, if they were minor changes,
Well, from going from a 5-day-a-week, 8-hour day to 4 hours, 8-hour day, to listen to you tell us that you needed a clerk for 32 hours and fought us for a year and a half. And now we don't need a clerk for 32 hours. We need one for maybe 18 hours.
but that's
And,
your
and,
opinion.
and you're not here only 16 or 20 hours possibly. And I don't know how many appointments you do on the weekend. So say 30 hours.
But you say here, like, office hours is the only part of the job, Wendy. That's the thing that I'm getting so frustrated about.
Because Debbie,
That's
you
not the
are the
only
town
part of the
clerk.
job.
You're the vital statistics. People come in here to expect to see the town clerk.
Right. It's
You
just,
are
it's
to
not
work
the
for-
only
you work
part
for
of
the
job.
Yeah, but most of it is people skills,
And
collecting
that's why this town has
taxes.
always had a deputy.
And that town clerk line, and this is another option we can do, we can change the town clerk and get the tax collector out of the town clerk's line and hire a separate tax collector. We could also do that. And
Why?
that can be
would
two
my question.
different-
Why would you want to do that?
Because we can, and then we could do a separate tax collector that would be here the hours that they want and get paid for that job separately. Because then they have to be here $3 days a week by law to do it in January. And they have to, I think somebody told me they're supposed to work on Saturdays in January.
It has to be three.
A town clerk told me that.
It has to be three days per week in the month of January.
Yeah, and so, I mean, we can also do that, separate that line, lower that line, and get them, I think they're elected.
But again, it's more and more chaos you're trying to create to the front office, and I don't understand why. And the
Well,
only
you'll
reason.
have to ask yourself that why, Deb.
Oh, I have.
Because my personal opinion, that has nothing to do with any of these board members, I think it's unethical that you're not gonna be here for 40 hours a week and you claim 40 hours a week. Even though you say you're working from home, they wanna see you here.
And I think it's
They wanna see you
unethical.
here.
I think it's unethical that you do not step foot in this building more than once per week, and you have someone
You
else doing most
You
of
have
your
no
job.
idea when I'm in this building, trust me, I'm here
And
more
that
than
you have
once a
somebody
week.
else
Just
doing
because I'm
most
not
of your
in
job.
here when you're here,
Right. But
Trust
you also
me.
have somebody doing most of your job. They're being paid now to do it, but you still collect the salary.
Yeah. okay. I was here till 11:30 the other night, and nobody else was here, so you don't need to tell me what I do, I know what I
But
do.
was,
And I
the
can look
public
at
come and
myself
see you
in the
at
mirror.
11:30?
No one comes to see me, Debbie, no one comes to see the supervisor.
They used to historically. You keep on saying things about historically. Historically, I was here 40 hours. Historically, the town clerk. Historically, the deputy was 32 hours a week. When it suits you, historically means nothing because Sarah, no offense, but Sarah was like, well, things change. Well, yeah, things change.
Yeah.
But historically, my position, my hours, my everything is the only thing we keep on being hyper fixated.
And historically, I did the job as the supervisor, acting as the supervisor, but never got an increase in pay, never got appointed, nothing. And I did that. I did the budget. I didn't get the extra money that year I did it. So I'm okay. I can look myself in the mirror.
I can too. I have no
Okay,
problems with
since
people.
there's no people here and it's already over, we can close the public hearing and the lawyer will write the proposition and I'll hand it into the county. Okay,
Make a motion.
I need a motion.
Really?
Second? Okay. And I'll send you all a copy of what he writes. And you're all in the okay with reduction of public office hours? You want me to write public office
Yeah,
hours?
just as long as we keep her personal stuff.
All right. Because of a reduction of public access to office or
I would just say public office hours.
office hours? Okay. Moving forward. Budget time. Oh, I got a lot of scenarios for you. So, I don't know if you want to look at the expenditures or the revenues first. It's probably easier to get through the expenditures because then the revenues will change. I will tell you, I can't get on the comptroller's website. It's too early yet, but they tell us to do, it's 1.02% increase. So it's like,
1.02?
yes, so that gives us $22,702 to work with. Okay? So, that being said, let's start. You ready?
Sure.
Okay, town board, I did 2% across the board. Okay? The contractual, I left at 2,000. And Sarah, I don't know how to change from red to black, so I made all those red. Mine isn't, but I cleaned yours up because I thought you'd get here early before I had to print.
Sorry.
So all the 2025s are all black, and hopefully I did it right. They're not on mine though. Okay, so I left that because hopefully some of you guys might want to hit a training next year if it's available and you can go.
I would like to be.
I mean,
able to
last
next
year I knew you couldn't go, so, so I left that. The justice, she asked for 2% increase on both lines, the clerk and the judge, and she asked for a 3,000 contractual, which that's what she had, so I left that the same. Okay, supervisor did 2%. I cut the supervisor's equipment to 200. I left the contractual the same, everything the same. Budget officer, I did not give an increase. I left that the same. That's my line, April, if you didn't know that.
No, I'm.
Okay. The assessor asked for $20,168.55 for Jeannie, $7,928.22 for Penny. And I called Jeannie and I said, we weren't planning on hiring Penny as a consultant next year. So I cut Penny. I haven't talked to Penny about it yet, but that wasn't in our plans when we set up to have her trainee and they switch in September. Because,
Yeah.
so I cut that trainer line out. The equipment, she had 300. I upped that to 1,200.
We have to get a new computer.
She needs a new laptop.
I hope that'll be enough because
Well, she gave me an estimate of one for $1,000. I haven't
Oh, okay.
bought it yet. But she did print out something for a new laptop for $1,000. But then I didn't know if she needed a case for it. I didn't know because that case
Well,
is
she will
probably.
also need software downloads for.
So do you think I should up that more is my question. It's a HP. This is what she printed out for me.
Because she's gonna have virus protection. That's how, I'm just wondering if that is included in there or
Now,
not.
virus protection should be provided by our MSP.
So do you think I should up that assessor? That's what I'm quite asking.
And we know the program on that our assessors already have.
Any
Didn't we
program that
just
we,
do Office on there for Penny?
Any program that we've purchased, we should be able to put onto this computer. There's no reason why we
So
couldn't
we shouldn't
transfer
have
it.
to buy a new program.
We shouldn't
Oh,
have to.
that's
no.
good. That's what I was
It's just-
wondering. I wanted to make sure that.
It's just whether whoever is doing, like, we probably will have to pay computer ER to do some of the transferring of the programs. So
Okay,
I would add at least 2 hours worth of their work to
okay.
do that.
So what do you think that'll
So
be?
if, I don't think 2 hours.
Do you want
What
me
they
to
charge
Do
now.
you
Or it's
think,
like $200, I would
Then the
say.
1,200 should be enough, right?
You think the 1,200 is enough, or you want me to up it to 15?
Well, we don't have to pay taxes on it, so 1,000.
Is there
plus
any
two.
other equipment that she would be utilizing for the year though? 'Cause
Well,
this
the
is
next
one
thing
big
in the contractual, I upped because she's gonna have training. The training courses are gonna cost $875. But I told her to talk to her other town, and hopefully we can split those. So it's $437.50, but I don't know if they're gonna, because it's a really tiny town. But she's gotta have these 2 courses, the basic course 2 and the 1-day seminar.
Oh, okay.
Ethics in the course is the same, $650.
Why didn't we get this quote from computer ER instead?
Penny just put it in with her thing. So, I mean, we might be able to get it a little cheaper, might be a little more.
Yeah, I think. we
That's
should
why
ask for
I
it
don't know
from-
anything about computers, so they asked for 1,000. I upped it to 12 because I didn't know. Do you think I should up that to 1,500 is my question.
I think the 12 should be able to make it.
We pay
Maybe
computer
make it
ER
13.
block. We do like a $2,800 block that has a reduced hourly rate and covers it, doesn't expire until we just use it up. So
Right.
we still have ours from last year, and I forget how many hours we get out of it, but,
Mhm.
so it doesn't end
I'd
up.
say we keep the 12 then, if that's the case.
So-
And if we go through them, we might get something cheaper too.
We might, yeah.
Yeah, and then she asked for 1,600 in her contractual for continued ed. I only put 1,500 because I'm hoping that they'll split that, and if there was a little extra. And then her New York State membership is 125. So I put that to 1,500 for her contractual. So are you all good with that, or do you want me to change
No, I
any
think
numbers
that's
on that?
I think that's good.
Okay. All right, next. All right, town clerk, we don't know. So I did 2% across at that thing, 46, 025. The deputy clerk. Now here's the scenario for the deputy clerk. On the budget that I have is with a 2% increase. So let me just find my town clerk stuff. This is assessment. Can I just have that computer thing back so I can keep this all
Absolutely.
together? Thanks. Okay, so she's done. Karen's done. Okay. All right, so Debbie had asked for a deputy clerk for $18 an hour. January, up to 40 hours a week for tax collecting. And then February and December, up to 20 hours per week as needed. And the hours that they're saying Tuesday and Wednesday, 10 to 5 would be 18 hours, 11 to 5 would be 16 hours, 11 in the afternoon to 5 p.m. on Tuesday and Wednesdays, or 10 to 5, depending on how many hours you want to give her. Thursday, she would do 8 to noon. Monday, Friday, Saturday by appointment. So I think, my personal thing, I think somebody should be here on a Monday because of the weekend, if something they got mad about. So that's what they asked for, and these are the proposals I have. I have a lot of them. Because like Debbie has just said, she would like the town clerk to get a raise. So I've done quite a few different scenarios. Let me just figure out which ones. 13,853, that's at the 2%, am I correct?
Yep, 5-2, 13,852.
5.2, okay, it was some change, so I rounded it
Yeah.
up, okay.
That would be 16 hours a week. That's at 2%. That's $16.35 an hour. That's what her increase.
16, how much?
Uh,
But what would it be?
16 hours a week.
Okay.
That's based on 16 hours a week with a 2% increase. And is she making 16.35 now?
32.
32. So do that. I don't know what that is. That right? Is that only 16.35 an hour with 2% increase? I might have did that wrong.
You're gonna have to tell me what math you want me to do here.
1632 times 2%.
$16.65.
So it's 1665 times 1665 times 280. No, it's 16 hours a week. 16 times 40. Or wait, 52. 16 times 52 weeks in a year.
13,853.
So it should be 13,853. That's with just a 2% increase. Okay. If we give her a 4% increase, that's about $17 an hour. It's like 4.1 to give her an even $17 an hour. That would be 14,144. That's with just giving her a flat dollar increase. If we gave her 18 hours at $17 an hour, that's still a 4.1% increase. That would be 15,912 would be that budget line for 18 hours. If we just did a flat, left her salary at the 1632 and gave her a dollar increase, 1732, that would be $16,212 for 18. You following me?
Mhm.
Okay. Now, if we did the 40 hours, I got to find out where my totals. And the 18 hours, we are looking at, I think this is the first figure.
It wasn't a guaranteed 40, it's like up to.
Well, I budgeted 40 and 20. This is what I budgeted, January, 40 hours, February, 20 hours, March, 20 hours, and then for 39 weeks, 18 hours. And I think that one, this was the 18, that comes to 18,393.84. That's for 18, it averages out about 18 hours a week. If we keep it down to 40 in January 2020 and then 16 the rest of the 39 weeks, that's about $17,000, $1742. If we did the $18 an hour, it's $20,520. Okay? So these are all the different scenarios I came up with. If we just do 16 hours, like I said, 16 hours, the 2% is the 1385. If we up it 17, it's 14,144. If we up it a straight dollar on what she's making now is 14,410. $18 at 16 hours flat. This is all year round, just flat. No extra hours in January, February, March, just 16 all year is 14,976 at $18 an hour. And then I did a couple, and I wrote down some suggestions for the 16 hours, Monday 9 to 1, Tuesday 3 to 6, 3 to 6, because most people work till 5. I were coming later. That's 4 hours, and then Thursday 9 to 1. I feel like people are probably used to the Friday now. I don't know if they're going to flip if we're only open 3 days a week. So I was thinking 16 hours, 4, 4, 4, 4, like she's doing now, but just have a night, have her come in later if she's willing. And if she's willing, the town clerk is okay with that. And that's straight 16 hours. If we give her a 50-cent raise August 1st, that would make her at 1682. Starting August 1st, we'd have to amend the budget. and give her a 4% raise in January, and she would be making $17.49 an hour, that would cost us $14,555, and that's for straight 16 hours. That's no extra hours. That's just 16 hours. That's giving her a raise. August, this is her first full year, right? Am I correct?
Yeah.
She's passed her year, and if we give her a raise. If we don't give her 4% and give her 2%, and we give her a 50-cent raise in August, that she would be making $17.16 in January, just give her 2% raise, she'll be making $14,274. Again, 16 hours straight, no extra hours. So, how y'all feel about that?
I'm torn because what I'm concerned about is tax season.
Well, they also have Debbie. So, Debbie is the tax collector. She's not the tax
Right.
collector.
That's true.
Part of Debbie's salary is the tax collector. If they don't vote that, Debbie's gonna get 45. She'll have to make appointments to collect taxes. So, and I did those 40 hours, 20, again, at different salaries. And then, I don't know what you want to do. I don't really know how we can charge the taxpayers more money for something that is unknown.
I mean, I certainly am not opposed to giving her 50 cents more an hour here for her.
I mean, if you want me to do the math, we can do the math on 25 cents an hour. I was gonna do that and I didn't do it.
Because she's been here a year.
We'll have to give her something to do with 50 cents, but,
Yeah,
really
yeah, I
50 cents is
agree.
not fair.
but,
But you guys would have to do that. We'd do it at the August board meeting.
Right.
yeah, do that.
And retro that back up to first.
And then figure the 2%,
And just give the flat 2%,
stay with the 2%.
like everybody else has.
Yeah, I think that makes the most sense.
And what about the hours? Do the flat 16, because we don't know. I mean, if we have to amend the budget when we find out, then we'll have to amend it. But I don't think if this doesn't pass, the town clerk, which is Debbie, which you have 2 more years, correct, Deb? You don't do till 2029. That salary will be, and Debbie said I didn't need to give her a raise this year. We could take the raise off that and leave it at the 45 and give the town clerk 4%.
Be the deputy.
The deputy and leave the town clerk at the 45. But if we can't lower that town, and then when we can lower it, then we can change hers, but we will not know until after the election. And then that's board meeting after the election, that's the final vote then we'd have to change those numbers again. You know, then we can move more money or give more hours and move money out of the town clerk's line into the deputy line.
But that's something,
But that's all unknown.
if we put these numbers in here, we'll have the numbers.
So we'll have the money to play with and we can
Budget
amend
be
it.
Finalized,
Right.
and what we have to do to make it work later on, we can do.
Because we can
I
always
agree.
move from the town clerk's budget down to the deputy's budget.
Right.
As long as we
Increase if we need to.
leave, the money there somewhere in the budget. Don't, take it out completely,
No,
leave
don't
it
take
in the
it out.
budget.
Yeah.
And then, and that way, God forbid, we have to hire another deputy, have 2 deputies, so that they're both under the 20 hours. And you have 2 doing 16 hours, that'll give us 32 hours a week. 2 deputies at 16. And then Debbie by appointment,
And
and
find 2 for 16.
so,
It was hard enough finding the one. I mean, if you just gave that one, I mean, honestly, the current deputy isn't looking for any benefits. But the only benefits over 20 hours gives you is you've got a couple vacation days and a few sick days. The way you have the position now, you're asking somebody to assist in that front office and get docked if they're ever sick or want to go somewhere. It's just kind of a benefit of being a part-time
well, the way
employee.
she's telling me 16 hours is plenty. She's comes, just sometimes phone doesn't even ring. People don't even come in for days. So, And I don't think she wants to work over 16 or 18, the way she's saying. So she doesn't want a full-time job.
No, she does not want full-time,
Well, then
but
that's,
to have the option
So
of
I
up
think
to
to give-
20,
I think we should
No,
leave it
we
at the
don't.
16 to we figure it out, so we know what's gonna happen in the future.
I think there's just too many unknowns. I think we just,
Yeah, we don't know.
but I do.
But I
agree
think
that
we
should
have to
give
put
her
the
a
money
year.
put the money in the budget. Well, we can't do that here. This is just a
No,
workshop.
I just remember
So
that we
it'd
have
have
that
to
on
be
the
put
agenda.
on the, we'd have to talk about it, and then I'd have to see, we'd have to take it at contingency probably, and move forward and make a resolution to move money and see how much, I'd have to get with Joan to see how much I'd
Yes,
get.
absolutely.
But, because I don't know how many hours would be left in the year, you know.
I'm not doing the math
So,
tonight.
I'm not either. So,
3,200 hours.
Oh, never
so,
mind, she did the math.
so that would be based on, let me just look at my numbers again. So if we did the 50-cent, where's that paper? This is the 50-cent one. Let me start this one.
And
so I
then
can
that
put it
would
in
be
the
for
budget.
next year, yeah.
So if we did the 50-cent, it'd be 1682, and the 2% at 16 hours would be 14,274. That number will change too, everybody. So write that in your line, 14,274. That would be the deputy. And then if we didn't do the town clerk's 2% and we wanted to do the 4%, we can change it again at that time. You know, give her the extra 2%. She was gonna give it to the town clerk. So 14,274. Okay. All right, town equipment. Let me just keep all these because I have all these together. Where is your thing? I don't know what to do with it. Okay, equipment, you asked for 1,500 and I left it at 1,500. You asked for 85 because of inflation for contractual service. I left that at 7. We've got to cut. I'm telling you right now, because you guys, the county, your taxes are gonna go up at county.
Yeah, we know.
So we've got to keep ours under the 2%. We just got to cut back,
We just gotta do everything we can
to
make
cut
this work.
back. So I left that the same. The attorney,
We knew that was gonna.
that
go
was
up.
gonna go up. We're gonna be over budget this year, but hopefully 8,500 will be enough for next year. Building, PS, I left 0. Where does the cleaning, what line does she come out of? Why isn't she in the building clean? Why isn't the PS in that? Is that because?
that's a payroll line.
It's not PS, it's.
Oh, because it's a
It's a third party.
third, right, okay. The building contractual, I left the same. Office supplies, I left the same. Print and mail, I upped by 200 because
Yeah, they're gonna
stamps.
change that, yeah.
So I hope that's enough. It probably won't be because I think we usually, I don't know what the profit and loss is where we're at right now. But I did look at that. And,
I went to what, 74 cents now.
Yeah. it's
yeah,
ridiculous.
it's crazy. And I don't know where my profit and loss is right now, but I have one here somewhere.
But we know it's going.
Okay, the unallocated insurance, I just upped a little to cover us. We'll be okay. But I don't know if we're gonna get that big slammy. We didn't get a big slammy this year. I think it was like not a little under 10, it was like 9%. The municipal dues, I put 1,200. Contingency, I left at 10. Okay, this is where y'all gonna flip out. Are you ready for this?
Depends on where you're flipping.
Okay, well, we keep getting complaints that we don't pay our officers enough. And I did talk to Tim before he left. And it seems like that might be why we're not getting any officers. So, let me find my police page. Because I did this a couple times. So, Lisa's making $27.85
I can write myself notes already.
right now. She's making $57,928 straight time right now. If we give her a 4% raise, which we gave her 4% last year, is $28.96. Had a comment that the managers of Stewart makes more money than our police officer full-time makes.
Isn't that when you said they should just go there then?
So I budgeted for $29 an hour. I can't tell you what the percentage is. It's a little over 4%, because it was, at 4%, it's $28.96, so it's 4 cents more.
What was our,
So it might be
what was
4.1.
our MEOs making?
Our MEOs next year, if the contract gets approved, will be making 28, the highest ones. And the next ones will be making 25 an hour. And they have, that's everybody with a CDL license.
It's hard to say a police officer would make less than
Then that.
that. I mean,
And my daughter kind of laughed at me. I mean, she has a lot of certifications and she had to go to school and everything. And she makes 30 an hour at an insurance company. So, and Lisa had to go to school and do all that training, so.
Mhm.
So I did do 29. I feel like that's as high as we can go.
It's just barely over 4%.
It's like 4.1, yeah.
4.13%.
So I budgeted at that, you'll see. And then I budgeted, because last year, it was, what was it last year? Let me just look. It was 6416,
so it's 6341.
because I budgeted overtime, because she's got 13. She doesn't work all the 13 holidays, but I budgeted for 13 just in case overtime. So I budgeted 124 hours of overtime for the full-time officer. And that was about, was it 104, or did I change that and do half of that? Because I budgeted overtime for the full-time officer, $17.98. Because it was, if I budgeted 124 hours, it was 2,064, and I said, that's too much. So I think I budgeted 179. Is that right? 62, or is it 63? No, maybe I didn't. I don't know where I got the 63, because I got so many numbers. And then the part-time officer, I did the 26. They're making 25, a flat rate dollar. That's $54,080 for 280 hours. I'm figured 20 hours. If we can get somebody hired, 40 hours a week, 2 officers, 20 hours a week, part-time.
Part-time, you said is 26 an hour.
26 an hour. They will get a night differential. So that total came to $55,120. I gave them a little overtime, and then I cushioned it a little just in case we went overtime on the full-time officers, because sometimes we do. So I made that a 58, because it was going to be like 27,184. So I made it 58,184. So that should cover any overtime if we had to pay them overtime on a holiday they worked, and a little overtime for Lisa. But the per hour would be the 26, and then the night differential at 50 cents. And if we found a full-time officer and they're young and they're just starting, that's probably not a bad salary to move for one more full-time, part-time, or full-time officer at 58 or 55, 56, somewhere in there. You know what I mean? If we hire another full-time, which he's trying to get a full-time officer.
So this plan is for 1 full-time officer currently plus 2 part-time officers.
At 20 hours a week.
Okay.
I mean, it would change if we got a full-time for sure.
It would definitely
When was
change.
the last time we had somebody showing interest?
We have an interview process going on tomorrow for a part-time.
Yeah. Because what's his name left? He loved working here, but he, like I said, he got married and he found another part-time job that he's getting $30 an hour.
It's hard not to.
Yeah.
I always wondered.
And
That's my whole per diem thing.
did you talk to him about
I have
that?
not. I've got to sit down with him and talk.
I
about
don't
it
know.
because
She came up with an idea of paying an officer per diem. And I don't really know how that works. It's just a flat rate.
It's a flat hourly rate, no benefits to it, it's just per diem hours. They pick up where we have shifts available. He offers the shifts out once a month, people pick up what shifts they can work.
That's not bad.
I mean, you generally pay your per diem just a little bit more than what you.
So what would that be, like $30 an hour or 29, what our full-time
Well,
officer
yeah, something we'd
gets.
have to look at, but it might get,
More people.
we
in
might
the-
have 6 people saying, you know what, I'll pick up a shift once a month or twice a month, or,
Mm.
you know, I don't know. I'm
The only
just
problem
thinking
is-
outside the box and where we could have coverage for our community.
The only problem is I can see David wanting to add a bunch of training for all of these, if we have 6 different officers picking up all the shifts. throughout the
Per diem, he just would have to make sure that wherever they're coming from, they have their
Their
training.
training.
Well, if they're.
He's-
If they're there per diem, they
should
would already
all
have to have that.
training. They're already
Right.
working, so.
But we've said that to him before, and he's come up with the same excuse of, well, it still is up to us to cover our butts.
Well, they have to do the shooting training, I know that.
But they would have to do it from whatever department they're coming.
And,
We're
and
not gonna get somebody to come off the street and just do per diem with us and not
Right,
work from
right.
anybody else. The whole
You
idea
gotta-
is just,
You gotta be they're working full time already.
right,
Right.
so I just thought it wouldn't be putting that much requirements on them.
right.
You don't, you're on a per diem
Yeah, I'm
list.
not opposed to it, I can just see David.
I gotta
talking
talk
it
to him
now.
about it.
Well, and the
No, 'cause I
other,
remember Sarah, when he had said that before, that even though they have the training from their other jobs, we still have to offer the training here, because if we didn't, then we'd get the lawsuit.
I'm not sure if as long as there was paperwork that said that they had that training, right? I mean,
Then
I
I
don't
would
know.
think, I mean,
I really
I
don't
think
know.
it was just something that he was probably saying it was his.
Like
It made him more
obligation.
comfortable to have them have the training through
Right.
us.
well, I
even if they got it
definitely
through somewhere
wanna
else.
have that discussion
Yeah,
with
it's
them.
something to look into, for sure.
I'm just trying to think of where we can provide the community with the support that they're asking for, that they've asked for, and that we know that we need.
I mean, we've
And
tried
clearly,
everything, and we
we're
have
having more and more
not
issues.
defunded any police. We've done nothing
No.
but fund it.
Right,
And as you'll see from last year's budget, I cut that $5,000. So, I mean, I might be shooting myself in the foot by cutting it that low, I don't know. But I think it's more than fair because we haven't used it.
Right.
I think we have to be realistic though, with how much need we have.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
so, and I mean, if I gave him a year, I said, you gotta find somebody within the next year. If not, we've really gotta sit down and decide if this is worth the town keeping.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna be sad, but the other option that he has proposed, and he thinks he can get it passed, is that we grant the 211, is it 211?
I think it is 211.
2-something waiver
For him.
to work, get paid more and work full-time. But I'm like, I don't need another officer in here, I need
I'd
an
love to see
officer on the
people,
street.
our evening is when,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what we're,
I don't need 2 people during the day.
we
Right.
really need somebody on evening. We
We
need
do.
to cover it. I mean,
And weekends, we don't have anyone on
Yeah.
weekends
and
either.
that's when
'Cause Lou used
things
to
are
do
getting
weekends.
taken, that's when things are, we're just.
So how do you guys feel about that with those? I mean, they're high increases, but I did lower the overall.
I think it's valid.
I
We've
think
had
we
several
have to pay
complaints
our
about
full-time
that.
officer a decent rate to keep them
Are you
here.
guys okay with 29?
Yeah.
I mean, it's 4.1%. Or do you think
Yeah.
we should we budget
Well, I
30?
mean, David did say last year that he wanted it 4%, but it still wasn't gonna be enough.
Right. He did tell us
He
that.
said that.
Yeah. I think, I don't have do you have his thing that he gave us?
No,
I think
but
he
I know
asked her for 30. Didn't he ask for
He asked for
$30?
30.
Yeah.
And I looked around and I did my research of the neighboring, and he's not asking for anything that's not unreasonable compared to what even the smaller towns like us are paying our
Right.
officers. You gotta give them something, because they're not gonna
What is
stay.
30, Sarah? Just 30 times,
And at least we're telling the
280
community,
hours,
we're making our
2,080
best
hours.
effort.
The trouble is, it's nice to have, but on the other hand, we're
62.
stepped into a pub we shouldn't be in, because it's
62.40
too
even.
big to handle.
I think
And that's
it is a
straight
lot.
That's straight down, no overtime.
Right.
I
So,
mean, I know people up around the lake think it's wonderful to see them drive by all the time, but you wanna pay for that? Wanna pay for an officer to drive by your house morning, noon, or night? I mean,
No, I know, I hear you.
it's one thing if there's something going
and if
on.
we close it, that they'll be filled. we'll be full then. I can assure you that, I'll be out of job, so. But it is what it
We're
is. I mean,
making every best
we have,
effort to do
I can
the right
prove
thing.
to the community, we have tried everything. We've upped the salaries.
Well, we've
numerous-
offered incentives, we've
Yeah.
increased time PTO, we.
And
we
I
are
left,
doing everything to keep it.
I told him, he's got so much grant money that I left all the equipment and stuff the same. Because
Yeah.
we're good there.
What about giving the incentive for an officer that'll, a full-time or an officer that'll work evenings or weekends when,
They get a 50-cent differential. They get 50 cents more an hour.
I think our full-time officer is amazing and doing amazing work, but if we keep on compensating higher and higher for an 8 to 4,
Well, they're getting $26.50 an hour.
where is like the money for those who are the evenings and the weekends when the crime is more?
And that's where I'm thinking
Plausible.
maybe the per diem might help. If we pay
Just
a decent per diem fee.
Well, should we up the part-time to 27 and then it'd be a 50-cent night differential? What is that? 27 times 280 hours, Sarah.
Well, the first place, you're gonna have to have
280 or
somebody,
2080?
2,080, sorry.
we're gonna have to have somebody
56,
available to do it in the first place.
Is how much?
56160.
And then 50 cents times 1,040 hours.
50 cents,
Yeah, times 1,040 hours.
500.
520.
I'd be more inclined to raising the shift differential than raising the part-time pay itself. That way
Yeah,
we
me
can get
too.
people on the off hours that we don't have.
Well,
So
they all,
It
that's what I'm
encourages
saying, we
picking
want
the
people.
Oh, and leave it at 26 and make the night differential $1?
because then
Yeah.
it's giving more of an option of maybe getting people in here the night and the weekends. If we can get people in here.
Well, as far as daytime, at least from my point of view, as far as daytime, unless the motocross is running, we
We're
don't need
covered.
anybody more in
Right,
daytime.
but it's the evening hours and it's really the evening.
So the
and
night,
weekends.
the night differential. So you'd rather give,
I'd rather do a higher
because
differential.
if it's $1 more an hour, it's 56,160 opposed to 54. If it's $1, that would be 1,040 added on to that. What is that? 54,080 with $1,040 hours. 12.
Then your overtime, you've only got what,
That's
4 or 5
55.
holidays? That you have in the
55.
policy for time and a half.
And then, where did I do the overtime for them? I did 20, but he said I probably didn't need to do 20 hours. Overtime, part-time, did I budget 3,000 for overtime? And then I was gonna split it between both of them. Was that 1,500? I gotta take these under, that's 56 and I budgeted 58. It's still doable if I got the overtime right.
I mean, I don't know what anybody else feels, but I think that's when we need people. If we're trying to entice people, that's when we need them.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think doing the night differential increase makes more sense, because that's when we want to encourage people to be shifted.
So then they would be making 27 a night, or 20, no, we're gonna do 26 still,
Mhm.
and it'd be 27 with $1 night differential.
Yes.
And that, it doesn't come on, it doesn't start till after 6. Like they usually come on, I think around 4 or 5, I can't remember the hour schedule. Is it 4 to midnight or 5 to midnight?
Mhm.
And then they don't get that night
They would-
differential till
They
after.
would still end up making more with the night differential than if we just gave them a 50-cent overall.
So I'll redo the budget and add $1 night differential.
I'm just thinking that at least putting our.
I just want to
best
make
foot
sure I
forward to
do.
cover
I don't know
we
what the
need.
number, but I'm sure it'll be close to what. I gotta just make sure I get the overtime right
Yeah,
to do the overtime. Cause I don't want to go over budget, cause these numbers are cut clean. Like instead of, a little extra.
mhm.
What do they do, 8-hour shifts?
I think they were doing 8-hour shifts.
And then how many of those holidays do you have in the policy? We've only got Christmas, Thanksgiving, 4th of July, Memorial Day.
I think officers get all holidays.
Oh,
No,
New Year's-
part-time.
New Year's.
They only time and a half, there's only 4 or 5 in our policy,
I think it's 5 from New Year's Eve.
and New Year's Eve. There's 5 holidays that you guys decided in the policy
For
that for
part-time.
incentive, part-times would get.
Oh,
Time and a
but
half.
full-time gets all the holidays.
Right,
Yeah.
but for part-time, we only had to select.
So there's
But you do
5,
need to
so I gotta
update
find.
the policy, because you don't say full-time gets time and a half.
So we're, but we voted on that. 5, you think
5
5
holidays.
I think it's, yeah, I think it's
Part-time.
5.
New
Budget.
Year's Eve, Christmas Day, Thanksgiving Day, Independence and Memorial Day, would be 5.
Okay,
Yeah.
so budget for 5 overtime, and then a little bit overtime, like I think he told me, at first I budgeted and the numbers were astronomical. I budgeted 20 hours part-time, I think that's what I did last year, I looked at last year's notes. And, he goes, I don't think we need 20 hours worth of overtime for part-time. But I didn't do any holidays for them, so.
That's the only overtime they will get, though. for
Well, not if
part-time.
they have that one day, if they have to have a person they arrest and they can't arraign them till 8 o'clock in the morning. They gotta stay here till with them. Like
They
Lisa had that one day, she couldn't take them in till 8 o'clock at night, she had to sit here with them.
I thought in the policy you changed that to full-time only, because that did happen to her, and you changed in the policy.
She
Full-time
will
working
get
over 8
an 8,
hours.
over, but if they have an accident or something, say there's an accident 11 o'clock, they're gonna get overtime. They're not leaving until the accident's cleared up. Like say they work till 1 o'clock in the morning, something happened.
Right.
They have to get their overtime. There's no difference between them and a regular officer. So, all right, so I'll work on the part-time again.
Get some numbers.
Do you want me to change Lisa to 30 or you want me to leave it at 29? Or you want me to work on the part-time first?
I think we should stay at 29, so we're already rounding up from 4%.
And we've already done
It's
another
4.1,
So in
it
the
was
2 years, we've
4%.
done 8%.
I'm okay with that, I'm okay with that.
And that's quite good.
And
Not
then-
that she doesn't deserve it or that she's not a great officer or anything, we just, that's a big jump already.
Okay, and just up the part-times $1 flat, and then the dollar night differential.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay, all right, I'll work on those numbers. Okay, so everything else you're good with?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The grievance board. What is that again? Oh, that's the assessors board, right? Okay, that I didn't up. I upped it, I think, last year. I didn't up that. You okay with that?
That's fine.
Vital statistics, I just rounded it off instead of that $2. I think that was a typo from
No, I think it was a percentage.
a couple of years ago, and it was supposed to, I just rounded it up. Highway superintendent. This one, after doing the, where's Jason's stuff now? Police, this is police, assessor. Okay,
After changing the highway figures.
after changing the contract this year, if they agree on our contract, because that contract,
When are we gonna hear back from that?
we did. We got the new contract. I just got it today, haven't read it. So I gotta see how we worded the terms.
and
And
it's
we'll-
almost 20%.
It's 16. He got a 16% increase.
I have 19.9, maybe I did
No,
bad.
yeah, it was 16 when we,
Well, you're probably not using the right number because we changed it when we hired Jason.
but this 61.
He's
it's not-
63,
It wasn't that.
he's 63,618. Because that was
Then
Brandon's biggest thing. He wasn't making enough money. So we upped it. And that's what the highway, it averaged out to be 16.
Okay, then yeah, that's correct, 60%.
So that's Jason's.
We do that because that rings on the long level, but.
Well, we couldn't have him making less than,
Yeah.
He'd be making less than that anyway.
I think we beat that horse to death,
oh,
so.
and that's so.
Well, there's another problem. Well, it's not really a problem.
Yeah, fixed.
We fixed it.
Okay.
The, now these MEOs are gonna be getting a big increase if they agree to this union contract. If they do, and Matt still stays the water operator, this was Brandon's other upset, that Matt would be making more money than the superintendent.
But Matt's doing 2 jobs.
Yes,
So
but that really bothered Brandon.
Brandon didn't have a water license.
So
I mean,
I
Brandon
think-
could have been doing 2 jobs, so.
I think I have a way to solve it without increasing the salary, is that we give our superintendent highway whatever the insurance cost is as a perk.
What do you mean?
It's gonna cost us, insurance is gonna cost us 80, like we're giving 84% and the guys are paying 16%. In our new
16% for-
contract, and that's gonna go up every single year if they agree. If they agree to that, because the insurance goes up every year. So if they agree to that, they still gotta pay more, we gotta pay more, it's more fair than what was being done. But if we agree to pay the superintendent of highway and only the superintendent of highway's full insurance cost.
So do we know what that 16% is for him currently, or,
I can tell you.
and that's not added to that salary, correct?
No, that's under the insurance, so it's not in the salary. It would be a perk, and maybe that would not cause any problems, because the other guys will be paying for their insurance. And I think, because he's not in the, union,
Sorry, I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
no, look at these papers, come on. I have an insurance paper somewhere. Insurance, it's gonna cost us, $9,915.84 per person for insurance. Not cost us, but that's what it's gonna cost, that's what the union is charging us. The next year is $10,252.32. The following year is, did we have 28 or what does I estimate these?
It just.
We only have the 2
in
years.
these new papers, we got the 3rd year.
Okay, so we don't have it.
Figured it yet.
So the town in the new contract is willing to pay 84% of their insurance costs.
That's what we were doing before.
And that's what the 7,660 or 40, whatever the number was, it's about 84% of what the cost was. So Roy goes, let's do it, and we'll do 84% flat every year instead
It
of
was like 83 point.
something.
So anyhow, we just rounded up to 84. We pay 84%.
And they pay
of the
16.
insurance. They pay 16% insurance.
So it's gonna cost the town per person $8,329.31 for the MEOs. It's gonna cost the employees, they pay 58 now, it's gonna cost 6104. And then in next year, it'll be 6309. The next year, I mean, we just estimated 65. It's gonna go up a little for them, it's gonna go up for us. In 29, it's gonna be about almost 9,500 per person. And we couldn't,
There's nothing we can
and we
do.
wanted to offer a family plan, and we just,
We can't.
family
There's no
plan, it
way.
was gonna cost us 25,000 per person.
It's not feasible.
That's a whole salary.
That's
insane.
25,000 per family plan per person.
The thing I think is gonna happen, and I don't know, I'm just guessing from living through it. We're probably giving them enough raise so that if their family was on some other kind of plan,
That'll kind of help offset that a
we
little bit.
would probably lose you if they're on like a low income plan.
Oh, okay, yeah, like
So we're better
a
off
government
giving
or
them,
whatever.
So
assistance.
we don't know, I mean, we don't know, they don't know until they get the numbers, but, I mean, like I say, I lived through it enough times so that I've seen it come and go where I got a raise and it cost me.
And the con,
And
It's an unfortunate thing.
nowadays, especially where some of the guys got their insurance here and the rest of the family
is somewhere else.
has got it somewhere else. If it's a, some kind of a low income type insurance.
Like the Child Health Plus, you can't make over a certain amount of money to get it for
Right,
your
right,
children.
So, they could come back to us and say, no, we lost our insurance. And we don't know that. And we didn't plan that certainly, but I mean, it's something to think about afterwards. We gotta think about.
I mean, we're trying to help, but sometimes you don't know if that help is
Right.
really gonna help.
I mean, we crunched numbers, me and Roy, for family plan, and
I
just-
remember we went.
it was
I-
just
I just-
astronomical. And then I did 50% of the family plan, 50-50. I did 25-75. It was so crazy, and these guys would have to pay astronomical for their insurance for family plan.
The only thing is about this plan, for the money they're paying, they've got a really good plan for one person. It's like 90% insurance.
Oh, wow, that is a good plan.
But
Mhm.
like I say, it's,
And because they're part of the union, there's no buyout, right?
yeah, and I don't know how you.
They,
I don't know how to keep
when
it
they're in the
consistent.
union, if you're a union bargaining member, you have to take the insurance, there's no getting out.
Yeah.
If you're a non-bargaining, which we offer to our employees, they can, and that's my next caveat that I haven't got to yet.
Yeah.
I would like to do a buyout for people that don't get, it would be one or two. Debbie's the only one that gets insurance, Jason gets
Jason get insurance.
but the police officer doesn't take our insurance because she can't afford it. But we could offer her, give her an incentive. That's what county does. If you don't take the insurance, they give you like $2,000. So these were the numbers, the costs for the town. Like if we did 85 for two person, it's gonna be $80,000. If we did 50, it was gonna be $49,000. Yeah, the family.
And even for them, they're not gonna be able to.
If we did
to absorb that
80%,
cost.
if we did 80% of family, it cost the town $101,000. If we did 75%, it cost us $94,000. 50%, $63,000. And those guys would have to pay. It was $485 a month.
They can't afford that.
They can't afford it. Or that's bi-weekly. That'd be $1,000 a month.
They can't.
Yeah, it was
There's no
crazy.
way.
I felt so bad. I really wanted to try to get them. It
Well,
was
we
just
started, the idea was, okay, let's go through and see if we can't come up with some kind of family insurance for them. And then, of course, they wanted.
They want the money.
They said we can make more money driving for Burrell. Well, we can't keep people with that, so we have to raise.
No, I know, I see it both ways.
The basic CDL driver right now can get a job at $27 an hour.
No, I believe it.
So, I mean, we really crunched numbers. Me and Roy, we worked hard on this.
I mean, we can't run a town without people. I mean,
Right.
that's the bottom line. We and
So-
the roads are extremely.
So that's where we're at with Jason's salary, and that keeps up with what the boys are getting. Okay? The garage I upped because we're way over budget in the garage this year, but there is one mistake on it.
Did that include the door and stuff in the garage? Is that why we're over? Or just?
The garage, 8,000 of it in this year's budget
Oh,
needs to
and
come
grounds.
out of building and grounds, and it's in garage, so we
Right.
gotta switch that. So I just left that we spent 25,000 already in garage. And, so I only budgeted 20, but 8,000 of that's coming off, so hopefully that'll be enough to get us through the rest of the year, I don't know. I gotta crunch more numbers on that one might change. The youth program is all zero except the 5,000 for youth programs, which I've been pricing some new playground equipment.
Oh, that's hefty.
Ain't cheap,
No,
ain't cheap.
we did that, remember several years back, was it Josh and I were looking, we had a woman did like a teleconference and got us some quotes and wow.
That
It'd be
little-
nice if we had a nice
Just that
company
little-
in
that little
our
thing at the
area would be willing
village.
to help with.
Well, we can send letters like to Preferred, maybe New York Central, maybe Golden's, MBT. But just that, Chobani, that little section that the village, you're talking 6,500.
Well, there's so many regulations of,
Yeah,
yeah.
the new swings, I priced the new swings, I think were like $72 for just the new thing. A new swing set, I think was like $2,700.
Mhm.
And the teeter-totters, I think were like, I want to say 15 or 2
It'd
grand.
be nice if we
Someone
could get
say
some
that.
help.
Yeah, we're gonna look for some grants on that too, but I left that in there because I would like to try to get some new equipment. The state retirement, I estimated that, I think, and I think we're gonna be okay leaving that the same. I will confirm with
Okay.
Joan, but I think, it was that's Social Security and Medicaid. I think we were gonna be okay. I need 26, I need about 32,616 if I did the percentages right. Because we have some people that get 16%, some that get 12, and so, but I gotta check with Joan, so I left that one the same. Social Security and Medicaid, that was 7.65%, and we were okay with that. Life insurance, I don't know how much that costs us, I'm assuming 500 is enough? I have no idea what that costs us if we pay it monthly, or,
It's a very, very low amount monthly that we pay.
so I didn't look at the profit and loss, I gotta look at that line.
I was gonna say it's only like $20 a month.
That's what I'm thinking, yeah, somewhere around about that.
Now-
$16-17.
Okay, now the medical insurance, this is where I upped. Because if we want to, in our new personnel policy, do a buyout and give anybody that's eligible to get insurance a $2,000 buyout. And that's up in paying for, if we want to do, I might have to up that a little more. What was it, 92? 92. 18, that might have to get up with a 2,000, it might be 20. I might have to up that to 20 if we do a buyout. But I don't know if do you guys want to do a buyout or no?
I think we should give an option for a buyout.
Is 2,000 a good option?
I mean, it's $2,000 if they didn't have our original.
Yeah, and I don't know how that works, if they have to pay income tax on that, or if that's just, I don't know how that works.
I don't know either.
I gotta ask Joan. So I might have to up that for the buyout. And are you guys okay with paying full, or do you want to do 95% and he pays 5%? We're doing 84/16. Are you okay giving the superintendent full?
I'd say give it
You guys did the numbers, so.
Yeah.
to him. Well,
One night Roy goes, "Go to bed, Wendy." I'm like, "I gotta do the insurance." He goes, "We're not doing it tonight."
Texting back and forth, you know,
No, yeah, we were like going crazy. I'm like, "What number did you get for this? This is
yeah,
what
where'd
I
you get
got."
that number from?
If we can do it and we're still staying within where we need to be for,
Well, I can tell you right now, with these numbers that I'm showing you, we can do 22,000 over the tax cap. And when we get to revenues, I'll show you, I've only spent 12,000 of the 22.
with that,
I haven't spent the whole, because I knew these numbers were gonna change.
okay.
So I haven't gone over
So,
the
yeah,
2% yet.
Because
With these,
we have made some
Yes.
increases, so.
yes, so I don't want to go over the 2%. We might have to cut somewhere else, or we'll have to do appropriated fund balance, which I'll
Okay.
show you when we get to the revenues.
Okay.
Okay, planning board, I left the same. I don't know if we give them increases every year. It doesn't look like we have. It seems like, oh no, I give them a $50 increase. They've been doing a lot of work, the planning board. And that $50 would be divided by 5 people.
So it's $10 per person.
Yeah. The planning board contractual, I left the same. Sarah, now, I know we sat down and we worked out some numbers.
We beat the crap out of these numbers, and if you tell me they changed,
They-
my mom.
They changed, Wendy, and I didn't have the heart to call you to do it again. Okay, listen, look at all these papers I have. Okay, are you ready?
No.
This is what I did. I made calendars
Mm-hmm.
of all the months.
Mm-hmm.
of how many hours we needed a day.
Mhm.
Well, that's good.
Then I added all the hours up for a month.
Okay.
So
Well, that might not be good, but.
in May, we need to have, because we're only part-time and we don't start till, I started on, did I do it right, Sarah, on the 11th?
No,
On a Monday. To get opened up for that first week in 16,
we don't need
17.
that many days ahead of time, but.
Well, I started Monday, Tuesday, because this calendar is a Monday through Sunday, so that's why you got, it's,
Historically, we would actually open on this day, and I
Right.
think having these 2 days ahead of time is plenty personally.
well, I started on the 11th, so
That's
we
fine.
might have a little cushion. So, and then this would be just part-time, 4 hours a day, Monday through Thursdays, the weekends, 8 hours. Okay?
So you're doing Monday through Thursday, half days,
4 hours a day,
and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 8 hours?
8 hours. That's for
Okay.
May.
Okay,
So that came to 144 hours. You like it so far?
that's fine, yeah.
Okay. June, I did 4-hour days, Monday through Thursday,
Mhm.
which was 20 days. 10 days, 8 hours, which is the weekends.
Mhm.
And then 6 days, I did 4 extra, like an extra person on the holiday weekend, or what weekend was it? Just to have a little extra if we were busy, if it was hot. I put, if it's hot, add an extra person 4 hours on Saturday and Sunday. So I calculated 6 days for 4 hours,
Okay.
For a total of.
for a total of 184 hours. And on May, on Memorial Weekend, I put 2 days, 16 hours.
And that's
For
in that
Memorial Weekend.
144.
Okay.
Yeah, that's in that
Okay.
144. I forgot to tell you that.
Okay.
Okay, July, I did 8 hours a day, Monday through Thursday.
Okay.
Okay? This is the new cabinet you're gonna not like me for.
What?
As I sat up there that day, when I was working with you,
Mhm.
we work 8 hours on Saturdays and Sundays.
Mhm.
And we work from 8 to 4:30, is that
8
correct?
a.m. to 4:30.
I think we should be open to 6.
I think so too.
So I think we should do 2 shifts of 5-hour shifts,
Okay,
10-hour days.
can do that.
What do you think about that?
That's not terrible.
July 4th, I put extra person for Saturday, Sunday, and that Friday weekend.
Mhm.
And then I did 10-hour days for Saturdays and Sundays.
Okay,
And then I did an extra day if it's hot, an extra 4 hours just to cover if we need it.
okay.
So that came to 304 hours. August, did the same thing, 10-hour days on the weekend, 5-hour shifts.
Okay.
And then I did,
Are you talking about Saturday and Sunday or Friday, Saturday and Sunday for 10?
I just did 8 hours on Friday, 10 hours on Saturday. But I did extra if it's hot at 4 hours on Saturday and Sunday, which we could move that 4 hours to the Friday.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
You could do, I just
Yeah,
had to write it
add
up.
an extra
I-
2 hours.
It was such a pain in my ass to figure out. I did, like, Roy taught me that. How many hours, Wendy? Figure out how many hours for overtime, then this is how many hours your time's it by. And that was like God said to me. So that came to 308 again. September came to 200 hours, and Labor Day, I did 10 hours Saturday and Sunday.
You switched it back to part-time during the week, right?
Yep, except the first week of September, I left 8 hours.
Okay,
And then I did 4 hours and then back to 8 hours except Labor Day.
okay,
And I did, on Labor Day weekend, an extra 4 for Friday, an extra 8 if we need 2 5-hour shifts and 1 extra 8 if we needed it, if you felt.
okay.
October, 72 hours. 10 days at 4 hours a day and 4 days at 8 hours.
What day do you have ending?
The 13th of October.
Is it a Monday?
It's a Tuesday.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. And that was it. That's the only one, I was like, I can't do this. I gotta time solve the things.
So that just adds, we're
So-
just adding some hours to Saturday to Sunday, more than we talked about last time.
Yes.
And
I got
putting it full days during the week during the summer.
8 hours.
Yeah, okay.
And I'm thinking maybe you should do 9 to 5. But I mean, that's us. But you're
You
worried
think that until you go up there and try to empty out the fire pits.
And yeah,
And it's
I don't know. I
like
haven't
beach
been,
at 9
I
in the
haven't
morning.
watched them do their stuff in the morning. I've just been there
I've done it.
when people are coming in and asking for
Yeah.
this. And, you know, I was really impressed how many people came in that store that day.
There's a lot.
It's a good thing. We're doing good thing. We're not there yet, but it's
We're making
all,
about $150 a week out of the store.
it's all a learning curve because it's brand new. So that gives us 1,212 hours. And I didn't get into nickels and dimes. I did an average of $17 an hour.
Okay.
That came to $20,640 for the hourly rate.
Mhm.
Okay. I know we talked about the manager, but then I looked at last year's notes. This is what I come up with the manager. Last year I did on call on the weekends. $50 a day. So that's $100 a weekend. 23 weekends next year. That's $2,300. Okay. On call when they're not the beach attendant, because they're going to get paid an hourly rate when they're the beach attendant. Because that's what we did last year. When they're on call, when somebody's got to call them and they're not working, because we're going to have the manager work at least 3 days, we agreed, right?
Yep.
So 4 days they got to be on call during the week for 23 weeks. And I think I based that at $25 a day. So that was another 2,300 because I got 46 for those two. That was
Yeah.
based on call hours.
Yeah.
Okay. Then reservation setting up at the beginning of the year and tearing down, I figured 400. So I made the manager position at 5,000, but they're going to be taking 3 days of these Millbrook hours. So they'll be making that per hour. This is just the manager fee.
Right, this is just the added responsibility.
This
of
is
being
just
a
the
manager.
being, plus if we offer them the 7,280, which the campsite value would be if they had to pay for it, that's added to that. I didn't even add that up. 5,000 and the 7, what is that, 12 something. So, and then we went, because we figured out it didn't pay to have them on call all year.
Right, it doesn't. There's not enough happening.
Yeah. And, I mean, she did look up stuff and do all that stuff, but I really feel like, I mean, it was the first year we tried it. And I don't think we need it those other 6 months. This is based on a 6-month seasonal job. So that being said, what did I put for numbers? I can't even remember. Oh, and then the beach custodian, I just did a 2% increase on that. Okay.
Okay.
And because I don't know, is that going to be our hourly rate? Should we just move that into the hourly rate and get rid of that? Or is that going to be, because you got to remember, that was a wife-husband deal. We probably aren't going to get that again.
Right.
So,
Well, when we were talking about the custodian, we were saying 4 hours for 2 days a week, it'd be 8 hours a week. And then we were saying to match the beach attendant rate anyways.
okay, were we matching that? I can't write, I didn't write anything down. I don't know where I got. I just think I added 2% on it and I figured me and you would figure it
I
out.
think you gotta wait and see what you got for staff.
Right.
How you go.
So, and then we could always move that down. All right, so that's why I lowered that manager position. And then that came to 20, but I left it at the 25. I cut it the 7.6, but I estimated 26. But that's if we don't have over, like if, oh my God, we're packed. We need to stay here till 8 o'clock because no one will leave the beach. I left it at the 25,000 just in case they have to work a couple extra hours. All right. And then I did up the recreation park to 20,000.
Okay.
And then the Medicare social, I gotta check with Joan on those numbers. I've estimated it, but I did 32. I have the $200. Joan's other support and government, I just upped hers 2,500. She does pay for QuickBooks out of that. And I don't know she didn't come in with a price yet. I just upped that to 30. So, okay. You ready for DA? Is everybody good with Millbrook, how I came up with that scenario? Do you think that's a good plan? Do you think we can hire somebody for 5,000 plus they get hours, plus they get the campsite? Okay.
5,000 or 4,000?
5,000. 5,000, because I gave 400 for when they set up the reservations and when they tear down. They got to make sure everything, and doing the inspections, tearing down, make sure all the fire pits are clean. When they set up, they help, she organized the picnic tables to get put out with the guys, and they had
So we're gonna
Shabani.
have to put the portable toilets.
Yeah,
put the
they do all that.
benches.
That's why I put her on Monday, because I didn't know when all those stuff gets scheduled if she needed
Yeah.
to come.
Because you have to have all of that stuff set out,
Did
especially
we
the
hire
portable toilet.
somebody?
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
Not
I
yet.
was gonna say too, you kept saying she.
She,
and I was
and
like,
that's what
I shouldn't say she, I just referred because it was
Formerly
Connie.
she.
Yeah, formally she, we haven't
Okay,
hired
but
her.
that's why
We
I
do
asked,
have-
'cause you kept saying
We
she, and
do
I'm like,
have some applications that we're gonna do interviews on, but we haven't done that yet. So, and like I said, I just roughed that to $17 an hour. And I didn't know, and I think we talked about 17. Well, I did a flat fee. So did I do that by $17.50 an hour? I must have, because I don't know where I came up with those numbers. Oh, no, I did flat fees, $50 and there, but that's why I did this at 17, because you're gonna pay the manager $17.50, correct? Up to $17.50.
It would have been $17.50 before we were talking about doing it as a stipend again.
But I
So
mean,
it'd be-
is the manager gonna be making on the hourly rate $17.50?
I didn't think on top of the stipend, no.
Well, I put it between 17.50, because we hire from 16 to 16.50 for regular
Right,
employees, and I thought the manager would be 17 to 17.50 an
yeah.
hour. So I figured a 17 overall should be good, and we have a little cushion. Okay. All right, that's done. Next, what's next? DA.
Yeah.
Where's those papers?
Zero.
Okay. I think we are really good with DA. With the raises and everything, I think the salary, I'm gonna be okay at 120. And this is if the budget
You gotta go
passes.
up a
You
section.
skipped.
146.
You're in
Oh, sorry, I'm in DB. Okay, DA. With what we're agreed in the contract, and I added all those salaries up. I added in Christmas, Thanksgiving, because they don't want the day off, they want double time instead of a day off. I added, they want to be paid for the 40-hour week vacation, I added that. I added overtime, all that, and I think we'll be okay at the 146, 610. Well, I'm gonna check with Roy's numbers compared to my numbers to make sure we had the right numbers, because Roy did them too, and Roy was out of town. But I think we'll be okay with that. The snow removal, I upped a little bit, and transfer reserves, I upped a little bit. So, and Social Care and Medicaid, again, I gotta talk to Joan. And what was on my TOV for that? What did I increase the taxpayers? That's not that page. I gotta find that page. I'll tell you when we do revenues. All right. And then the one that struck me on DB, the personal salaries, I think we are gonna be okay. The general repairs and that machine equipment line. Because as you see in the past, on general repairs, 70,000, 87,000. I cut, and it was 77.6. I cut that down to 23. But a lot of the stuff that was coming out of that general repairs is coming out of garage now. So I only upped that nine something, 10,000. And, because what I did is I added those two together from previous budget. I mean, Bob only had 4,000 at machine equipment. And last year it was budgeted for 54. So, and you can see the 54 and the 23 was like the 76 in general repairs. I kind of split them up. So this year I did 33 and 55. Again, I don't know if I'm good with that. On general for this year, I think I'm too low. I think that reserve, I put 15,000 reserve, I think is gonna have to be moved up into that general line, but we won't know till towards the end of the year. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I had to match my revenues. The 143 is chips. I was gonna up that, but I talked to John and Jason and they said leave it at the 143. Machine equipment, I left the same because we might need a new mower. I just found out, but they got some parts. They're gonna fix it because another new mower would be expensive. That's not a lawnmower. It's one of those.
Our
reach outs.
Yeah, our fingers crossed that we've got our
Okay.
new people that know what they're doing.
Brush and weeds, I did at 2%.
Yeah.
The contractual, I just added 200 to it. State retirement, we should be good. The same, I gotta talk because you gotta understand our salaries are lower than, they're higher than what we're paying this year. But the retirement, they're not at a tier 5 or 6, like a higher tier. They're all at 6s now. So I think we should be good. Medical or Medicaid, I up to 500. Those numbers, I still gotta check with Joan to just make sure we're gonna be okay with those. Life insurance and the medical insurance. I had it up because we're paying 84% now. South of Berlin lighting, I just left it the same because I don't think we're over budget yet. I think that's been pretty consistent. I don't think we're gonna, we won't know. I'll have to look and estimate what we have left.
I thought we were doing pretty well with that. When
Yeah.
I mentioned the numbers.
Well, they're supposed to change the lighting and make it cheaper anyway.
They
Yeah.
did, I think they did change them. So that's why I think we are doing okay.
You still never built that second half.
I know. That's not none of them.
Purchase order still sits there in the folder.
Okay, the ambulance. I didn't ask Pete, because I'm sure he doesn't have his numbers. I did the 1.2, which comptroller advised us to do this year. On the fire department, someone's got to check my math. I either did 1.2 or 2%. I can't remember because I don't know if I wrote them down. Because
It's not 2%.
it is at 2% on the fire department.
Yes, but
Yeah, it's either the 1.2 or the 2%. This was the insurance. Let me see if I did anything on fire. And then
Not
South, and South, it's not 2, it's 1.2 then. I did the 1.2, which was recommended. The South of Berlin, I did 2, but I haven't got yours, so it is whatever it's gonna be.
Yeah, I don't know. That's.
Yeah, I budgeted 2.
I'm
If
under that
they,
one right
yeah,
now.
if they stay in the 2%, but that'll be
I've been
whatever.
yelling and screaming, but I don't know if anybody's listening to me.
But I just want to give you the heads up on the ambulance. The ambulance lost to Town Pittsfield.
Yep.
So with that being said, they're probably gonna, and I don't know if they're gonna pick up any in Columbus, because they came into Columbus less than Sherburne, and Columbus board still stayed with Sherburne. So I don't know if they'll split Sherburne and do half with Berlin and half with Columbus. I don't have any answers for that. But I do anticipate him going over the 1.2 or the 2%. And I am going to tell you right now, they were down a lot this year. I saw the county ambulance here a lot, and I'm not willing to budge on that. That's my personal opinion. You guys, if you want to give whatever Pete's going to ask, that's your personal opinion. But I will tell you that the county we're just in the process of purchasing another ambulance. they're putting a third ambulance on. And they're gonna have one station in Norwich 24 hours, 7 days a week. And because they're seeing there's about 800 calls that are not getting picked up. And they think that, and everybody was worried it was gonna hurt Sherburne, it was gonna hurt Braun, but they said, these are 800 calls that aren't getting picked up.
I don't think it's gonna hurt them.
I think there's a need. So,
There again, for a long time,
it's,
problem's been growing and it
Yeah.
really needs to be, the county level is better to take it over than because they.
it would be
have
cheaper
more
for us
resources
to
and
give
they
money to
spread it
the
out.
county, every town give money to the county than it is for us to try to, keep it together because the problem is staffing. Just like police, they can't find
It
staffing.
is the problem. The staffing is a huge, huge problem when you don't have,
When
and
you
it's
buy
nothing
the equipment-
against, it's just, it is what it is.
Yeah.
You can't pay the people what they wanna be paid. There's other jobs out there that people are taking. They can't afford to
Take
work for
less,
this. And I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
So I don't know, I haven't got Pete's number, that's what I put in. The fire department for the village, we contract with them. I left that at the 2% or the 1.2, like I said, South of the Berlin, it'll be whatever it'll be. The water department, I didn't change a thing, because I don't know where we're gonna be at. Let's see how much revenue we get from this first
That's what I
billing.
was wondering how that
And
was gonna work.
then, at the next thing, we'll see what we brought in, because how many people would you average went over minimum?
6.
That's it.
That's not a lot.
So we're still talking, it's probably gonna be that 38,000, whatever we collect. It's 121 or 125, what was the number, times the 80?
I don't have those numbers right now.
Okay, it's around 121.
This was a rough
125.
billing cycle.
Yeah, okay. So I left them the same. And that's all I have on that. Any questions on the spending of the money?
No,
And
we're
I
certainly
just-
doing enough of that.
I want to tell you, I cringed at the 2 number on the bottom, the 2 million.
2 million. If you wouldn't mind just for me to not beat a dead horse, but in seeing some of the real decent raises and hearing the reasoning being that, they're just not paid enough and for the area and, you want to keep people in retention. If you could really think a little more serious about doing 18 for the deputy clerk for the amount of work that she does and she's good at it and that front office is very vital. I mean, obviously police and roads are extremely vital, but the work done in the front office is pretty vital too. And for retention, it would be
Well, I
nice
think
to.
we're at 1752 right now, aren't we? If we do the 50-cent increase. And then if we do the August raise this year.
Then it's 1752, and I just figured instead of splitting hairs, seeing some of the percentages thrown out there tonight, which aren't all concrete, I really don't think it's a far cry from 18.
Well, this one is not concrete either because it might go up. It might go up, depending on what we can do with the town clerk. We can transfer money in there and raise that. So this is just this is just a budget.
But you're not saying tonight that that's what you're gonna do, you're just saying that this is what we
It
guys
could
have
be.
agreed on, was 50 cents and
Well,
then 2%. So it was just something I just thought, with some of the other numbers that I saw, we really didn't
So if
cut
it's
in a
18,
lot of
what was
areas,
the,
but-
what was the 18 at, the 16? Is that based on 16 hours?
14,976, right? Per year?
It was 14, but if we did $18,
18.
I have that paper, I gotta find it. It'll be 14,976.
Yeah.
Yeah, is that with, I'm sorry, I
Yeah,
was
that's
looking
what
at
I
the wrong
have,
one. Yeah, 732 would be the 14,410 and 18 would be the 14,96. So, did she get any degrees in anything? Because who asked me that, if she had any degrees? Jamie, somebody asked me that.
I'm not sure, I didn't ask for any degrees, I just.
Like she
know-
doesn't have any college stuff in or accounting or anything like that? Because if she
She
did
does
that,
have some kind of nursing, actually, I believe. we
oh,
talked about
nursing, okay, nothing for,
Nursing, but I mean, she ran a Dollar General for years, and that's,
okay.
that's a lot of money going in and out of there. She did the hiring and everything else there, so she did
Well-
quite a bit as a manager there.
Well, we can look at that again. I have those figures, so.
Yeah, that's all I was
We
asking.
appreciate you advocating for her. We'll
Yeah.
definitely look at the numbers.
Revenues, you ready?
No, but go ahead.
Okay, so on A, I increased it by 5,981, the tax, okay? B, I increased the revenue to the taxpayer 1,053. Let me go back to general A. If you go down, I increased it by the taxpayer portion of 5981, like $6,000. Everything else I left the same except mine is not. I'm looking at,
Oh, interest
I'm
earnings.
sorry, I'm looking at 25s. Let me look at 26s. Sorry. I got them color coordinated. Where is my 26 revenues? Okay, well, I gotta look at yours, I think. Because I look at my 25s, my appropriations of 26. Where's my revenues?
Well, looks like it might be right there. Go back a page one.
This,
What's that one?
that's my budget, my balance sheet that I told you I had and I couldn't find. Because I was working with, jeez, I just had it here. It's right down there on the floor. Okay, we're good. If you look on yours and you see the appropriated fund balance, or is that what it's called?
Yeah, appropriated funds. 115
That-
to 23.
Yeah, and I added the thing, what I changed, I left everything the same on that except the tax base. The interest I upped by 5,000 because we made more money in interest. And on that appropriated fund balance, I feel that the taxpayers paid for the part-time police. Instead of putting that in the reserves, we need to give it back to the taxpayers. And that's where I'm taking that 22 back out. And we have a pretty good police reserve right now. So I feel that that's only fair to the taxpayers because these guys left, the part-timers, we don't have anything. It's still in our budget. Why not give half of it back? We'll put half in to reserves, give half back. So I don't know what the end of that number will be. I'm basing it on that. But I think that's more than fair to do. Do you guys agree with that or no?
No, I think we have to do something, I think.
Because I just feel like, I just feel like they shouldn't have to pay for something they paid for that they didn't get. All right, on TOV, the appropriation fund balance, I'm gonna take out of, we have, I think, 80 or 70,000 in reserves. I was gonna take that appropriate fund balance out of reserves. And then the 25,000 non-income tax sales tax will be put into that, just like I did last year. You got that?
That keeps it down. Perfect.
Yeah, okay, and then the DA, I upped 3,077. The chips I left the same, the 143 in appropriations. What else is on that? Anything else? Is there any other questions on that one? And then on DD, I upped 1,751 to the taxpayer. And I think I put 180 something. Was it 180? That's from sales tax. I hope I'm not overestimating because sales tax has dropped.
Right.
So if that is the case, I will have to put more money on the taxpayer of the 1,751. I might have to up that to 3.
I'm hoping not,
I'm hoping not to. But I won't know until I get some more numbers from sales tax. But county says in a whole, sales tax has dropped. So you get one thing, the comptroller says sales tax going up, the county says sales tax going down. So I don't know.
Until the checks come in, you still don't know.
You don't
You have
know,
no
it's
idea
all
what
an
kind of shopping
estimate, it's all an
habits.
estimate.
Yep.
South of Berlin Lighting, I didn't change, but we might have to, depending on, we look closer. And SF, what is SF? That's fire. That's the village fire. I put $515 added to that. So, any questions on that? So out of the 22,700 that we can spend, I've only spent 12. So I can up the tax portion to the public a little bit more and lower our appropriations, or if our sales tax goes down. I still have,
A little bit of.
I have about 10,000, a little less than 10,000 to wiggle.
All the.
But we gotta
adjustments.
do all these changes
Yeah.
now. I don't know if we will have that. What do you guys think? And overall?
I think this is overall, I think you guys did a really great job. And I think that once we make these modifications and see what the difference is, that would be great.
Okay, so I'll work on that this week. I know I gotta go look at the desk. We scheduled another one and I can't remember what the date was. It was either the 5th or the 6th of August. And I'm sorry, because that's next week, but the 4th or 5th, I think it is. Am I correct on that?
I thought it was the 5th. but maybe
That
I'm wrong.
Tuesday?
Yeah.
Want to go look at my note on the desk? Would that be?
picture of your note on the desk and I'm not seeing
Well, let me just go look at the note on the desk, might be easier. August 5th?
That's where I have it in my
I put
calendar.
August 5th and 6th.
Yeah, I have it on the 5th in my calendar.
So tell me if everybody's okay for August 5th.
I'm good with the 5th. I wasn't good for the 4th. That's why I knew we kind of were.
Okay, and the 5th is a Tuesday.
I'm good.
You good? Because
We've got to get it done before.
the only one we'll have that may change after the preliminary will be the deputy or town clerk. But
Yeah, but that-
the other numbers we can
that
tighten
still
up.
won't- That still won't go into effect till first year, so.
Right, so if we leave these
leave
numbers,
Everything alone.
we'll be okay because we'll have the money from up there.
Yeah.
Oh, all right, so it really won't affect it. Okay. Okay. So what do you guys want to do about the deputy? Do you want to wait and just jump it to 18 next year? Do you want to give a raise now? Do you want to?
I thought we settled on the 50-cent raise for August 1st and then 2%.
50-cent raise. So I got to put that.
She, at least before her year, we've got to make sure that. she-
Right.
Okay, so at the next board meeting, what is the next board meeting? The 11th. Okay, so that's, and we're
So
going to
the
give a
proposal
50-cent
to
raise.
Raise her 50 cents an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll have those figures. And then you'll have to vote on that at the next board meeting. And then in September, I will not be here. So Roy will do the preliminary. After we do the 4th and last workshop, I crunch these numbers again. And then on the 11th, if we have any other questions that we want to change, after the board meeting, we'll look at that. And then we should be all ready for the budget by September 9th or 8th is the board meeting.
Okay.
Okay? And then Roy will present it. after the election if we want to change it, but we shouldn't have to because the money will be there. We'll just have to amend the budget, right? Is that all
We
we have
just
to
have to
do?
move things around a little bit.
And that'll be for the following year, so we won't have to do anything, just make resolutions to move money from line to line.
Right.
Okay,
Anyway, so
okay, so then this will be the fun, so the preliminary should be, unless you guys don't like and you vote on it.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yep.
All right, we're good?
Good job.
Well, I gotta do it on paper first, I gotta write notes like, and do all
I
this
like
different.
the calendar idea of getting the hours in there.
Oh, that was,
Things that
Roy
was
taught
good.
me that, and I didn't know how to figure it out. I was like, I need to just have a flat hourly rate, you know? And I will give you this so you can do the schedule.
And that helps, at least for me, to understand where you're going with things. So,
Right.
well,
You
you
know,
gotta-
that we see
you
the
gotta
numbers.
know what your schedule's gonna be, what you're expecting.
And like-
Absolutely.
Yeah, hire people up, tell them.
What they're gonna
Right.
be
you
working.
know,
Exactly.
And like I put those extra hours, because sometimes on the weekends,
It's always good to have a buffer because
Yeah.
we
just
need
to,
it.
because if they gotta call
This
somebody
weekend
in,
would have been good to have 2 people. There was just, we had over 140 people on the beach
this weekend.
Saturday.
Wow.
Not at one time, but all throughout the day.
Did you get a hold of Cole yet?
No.
You haven't, okay. All
I
right,
was going to do that this weekend and then it was pure chaos at the park.
yeah.
We really need to get a response from our insurance company about what things motorized transportation we can allow in the park and what we can't. That was a hot issue this weekend.
Why?
What
Were you,
who
what
has
was running
motorized
around?
vehicles?
Somebody brought up a mini bike, so it's like
You-
giant
Why
bike.
can't, why do we have to get the insurance company for that? If it's not registered and it's not legal on the road, then it shouldn't be in the park.
Well, what do you mean? They drove it into the park and camped?
So they bring it in the park and ride it around the park.
I don't, that's a liability for the park.
It is. We still need hard lines about what is
What do
and
we
is not.
say? What do we say in
Because
the
now
rules?
listen, not,
We don't say anything in the rules?
we say in the rules, and everybody has their own opinion about what the rules are interpreted to be. Whether things are motorized or not, whether it's electric motor, diesel motor, gas motor, to me, it's motorized. You still have a motor turning axles. Had that mansplained to me twice this weekend. That was a lot of fun.
Well, now you got e-bikes.
Right, so there's e-bikes, there was a mini dirt bike that was battery powered. There was a teeny tiny toddler dirt bike that was also battery powered. There was somebody on one of those electric scooters, like, you know, like a kickflip razor kind of scooter, but powered. There were children in those little Barbie Jeeps.
Batteries.
Yep. We need definitive answers on where we have to draw the line for insurance.
Do we have anything in the policy now with anything motorized?
It says nothing motorized that isn't registered.
But we don't have anything for battery operated.
So that was
That
going
still should
toward,
be motorized.
You guys
It
were
just is
going
an
toward, like,
electric motor
the
instead of a gas
battery
motor or
from-
diesel motor.
but the carts, you guys were going that one toward
We,
like the
we were talking about
golf
the golf
carts
carts
and
at
stuff
some
like
point in
that.
time.
Right.
You know what, do a little research on state parks, see if they have anything, because these e-bikes, everybody has them now. In fact, I
So
got
some
one
of
for
the
my
people that I
birthday, I
talked
was
to
gonna
this
ride my
weekend-
bike down tonight.
Some of the people that I talked to this weekend said that, and it differs between private parks and state parks, and it's a mess. So some of it is like, there's some parks where they will allow like anything as long as it goes under the park speed limit. But that still seems like liability that we aren't like by default covered for in our insurance policy.
Because I wonder if somebody's walking around down there and somebody with a little mini bike, especially a teenager, hits the back of them, are we gonna get sued?
Exactly. That's my concern.
and I hear that 100%, but
With a couple of beers on,
what if,
you know.
Listen, I wrecked my e-bike just turning
Yeah.
and I flipped it.
but the thing is, I can understand that 100%, but the same thing would be if somebody's riding their bicycle and they hit a small child.
But we're
Right,
already insured as a park, and bicycles are part of park insurance. So I think
But I
we
guess we
probably
need to
are
know what
already
else
Well, I
is.
got
covered.
the new
But I think
policy.
we're probably already covered for bicycles, because it's a park, bicycles are by default in parks. But I don't think that applies
We
to
just gotta look at the
electric
policy and
powered
read it over.
things. Cause
Yeah,
it's
I got
different
That
laws
may
on
have
it.
changed for the fact of just how popular they
Yeah,
become.
exactly, that's why I'm saying we need definitive answers from the insurance company on it.
Because that could be your backing, is not just that you're trying to just.
We're not
put
just
rules on
pulling
top of
them out,
rules.
You know,
You're saying it because we're not covered.
right,
I think a lot of it probably would be covered for the fact that it is a park.
He said.
I personally don't own any of those, but I see that kind of stuff at a lot of parks.
yeah,
I
exactly.
see it up and down
And I
the
don't-
sidewalks. You
I
know,
don't wanna not allow anything in the park, I
Right,
just don't
right.
want, I don't want taxpayers to be liable if your child runs into somebody else with their e-bike.
Well, when you drive down the road and you got cars and trucks, motorcycles to look out for, and a few buggies here and there. And then you got everybody's kid, I don't know who they are or what they are or anything else, but zipping in and out with all kinds of battery powered whatevers.
Yeah,
And
it gets
whatever
dangerous
happened,
really
whatever
fast.
happened, all the concerns about safety, because you put them, let's face it, sitting in your car when you hit one of them, you're probably not gonna get hurt. Guess who gets hurt?
The person
You
driving
know?
it.
Yep.
Yeah, the kid on that bicycle or whatever you wanna call it.
Yeah,
thing.
exactly.
And, and of course, there again, it's like, I always said, don't run over kids, nuns, old ladies, because you're the bad guy, no matter, if they
It
run right
doesn't matter,
into you, you're
it
the bad
doesn't
guy.
matter, if they run out, you're gonna be responsible
So-
either way.
Right, right.
Yeah,
Because you're supposed to be aware of your surroundings.
right.
I mean, I can see where all this stuff is fun, it's just the idea of it is, all of a sudden, we got all this stuff on the road, and it's not like just a scooter or a bicycle, it's something that runs by itself at least 30 miles an hour.
Right,
And the Amish, they can't have a car, but they can run a battery pack. At least not in Ohio, they got them everywhere. They ride these motorized bicycles. And it's, well, it's not the same, well, it's pretty close. You're not pedaling, you're going
right, you
uphill.
still have a motor,
Let me
just
tell
because
you,
it's not a gas or
Those-
diesel,
those
engine doesn't
electric
mean it's not a
bikes-
motor.
Can't say 15?
15, I don't remember.
electric
I don't think
bikes
it was
are, just like a moped. I mean, if I start pedaling it, that thing takes right off with me.
It sounds
Or
like
I
somebody
cannot
told me
pedal
there were
and turn the
15,
thing and
can't
go
say 15,
slow.
and it sounded
But I
to me
wanna
like
pedal, cause it's a
a
bike.
lot of
and
everything
it's-
that they have. Oh, no, they have a new, toddler dirt bike.
Well,
Birthday boy just got a toddler dirt bike.
I wasn't even,
Okay.
we went up the hill
It
and I
was
was
not
literally
literally
just turning around.
They said
And the rain had
that
washed the
the
rut and the
birthday boy
road
was
on
on
my
exit
tire got
15.
caught.
And then the brother has an
Knee was
e-bike.
bleeding, I couldn't get up.
The other friends all have, and
And I
then
don't have a thumb
the
yet.
little girls
So
got
I was
a
like freaking out.
car.
But I wasn't like
Yeah.
moving.
I have a
you know, I
feeling
was just
he
trying
just
to turn
loaded
around.
all that up
So
there,
it
plus
was
a big
fine,
giant,
but-
what happened to that?
You could tip
Well,
over
They
a
had a
bicycle.
big giant
Yeah.
But I'm just saying,
blow up
Those
thing
things,
that like a
all
whole
the
bunch
thing,
of
and
people
nowadays
can
golf
relax
carts
on and.
and four-wheelers.
As long as
and
it's not in the
everything else
swimming
are-
area,
right.
considered a
Whether they got
flotation
permission
device.
or
Oh, see,
everything else.
we originally had it
Kids
where
ride.
you weren't allowed
Yeah,
any.
so I don't know,
flotation
do we ban
devices.
them?
I saw that changing though. I saw that starting to change, but it was that you were never allowed that because you weren't supposed to be. We had to get special
You mean
permission
on the
for,
water in
yeah.
general?
we had to get
We don't
special
police the
permission
water.
for
We
somebody.
don't police the swimming outside of the swimming area. The
We,
only thing we say is that you have to have some kind of a personal flotation device.
we had to go to the town attorney and get a
That's
special
shady.
thing for somebody that was
Yeah,
doing a
CEC.
triathlon. And they wanted to do, like, to practice the swimming, and in order for them to go out there, the husband would take her out in the
You
boat,
were happy with.
Uh-huh.
and then she would
Department.
swim her laps and then come out, he would get her back. But we had to have a whole contract drawn up for her because nobody was allowed, if they weren't
This
in
is
a boat, beyond the
first,
swim.
I was right the
Yeah.
first.
Yeah, as far as I know from what the EC has said to us when they come out, that you just have to have some kind of a
I
flotation
tried,
device if
I
you're gonna
really,
be out there.
the other night I
Honed
came
in on
down. I mean, if it wasn't Roy helping with the whole union contract and the MEO thing, that was just a separate job in itself.
Right.
And then the other stuff was, I have to write it down and I looked back through my notes last year. How did I come up with these figures? Where did I balance that? And and thank God I kept those notes and I had them. And I just keep them in the file so the next supervisor can say, how the hell did she come up with this? This is
Gotta
out.
read the chicken
I just
scratch,
don't know if
though.
they can read the chicken scratch, but hopefully you all will remember. So,
Perfect.
okay, so, the other thing, I just want to tell you, the insurance company called me the other day. We're invited, and I don't know if any board members want to go to they're officially doing something in Utica. I'll send you the, to a heavy hors d'oeuvre cocktail party up in Utica at some country club. Because High Street is finally taking Gates Cole over. Their new branding, because Gates Cole got bought out by High Street.
Mhm.
So that being said, I'll send you all the invitation if you want to go respond to me so I can give them a count. It's August 21st, I think.
Are you going?
I think I'm gonna go because I think one of us should make an appearance.
I can probably go with you.
Okay, and then, I'll send you all that. And on that note, they told me this office will be closing.
Oh,
The New Berlin office, the owner,
I have heard
Does
that
it-
just yesterday, somebody told me
they
about
are
that.
putting the building up for sale and our new headquarters, these girls will be moving to the Norwich office. So
well,
that
at
will
least it's
happen.
not, you know,
Yes,
cities
I mean, I
over.
go to Norwich 3 times a week or 3 times a month, so. And will be September 1st, I think is gonna be the announcement. And I think that's what they're gonna pull out, the big announcement.
Yeah, I think I had heard that yesterday.
And the other note is, I don't think I can say the name because we're not an executive. Whatever lawsuit we had pending, that was not pending, that was gonna be pending, is no longer, is gone off our insurance.
Yes, excellent action.
I didn't even know John talked. He sent a text, sorry, he can't come. He hurt himself. Hurt his new hip. Can't make the meeting.
mm,
And what else did I have to tell you? The lawyers call me back tomorrow on the proposition writing. Jason had somebody else call him about which could totally change our budget, which I don't think we'll have ready by next year. Leasing out the gravel
Gravel
pit.
pit.
And I don't know if that's something we have to put out for bid. I don't even know how we write up an agreement to do that. So I'm gonna ask the lawyer if they have any
Is
experience
there
in doing it.
any other towns that have gravel pits that we can check?
I don't know. The thing of it is, we'll have gravel an awful long time if we keep that gravel pit.
That's right. And that's why I don't know if we want to do, or do we put a limit on how much they can take out a year and do a 3-year term, and that's it.
But we're also.
I know when we got it, the idea was this is long term. This is,
For our
Right.
children,
whether we
grandchildren.
buy gravel, yeah, it's something we're gonna pass down to somebody.
Maybe we should just, we're leaving it for the next generation
I
after
would
that.
say it doesn't cost us enough to let it sit there, the longer it sits there.
Okay, because he got approached again, and he knows that somebody local that has one is almost out of gravel. And I didn't know, I don't even know how to even start this process. That's,
Yeah,
do we sell gravel out of there?
if we look at where we
no,
are.
but
No.
we used to make our own, and we would sell the stone, because we would shift it, right, to
Yeah,
get
we
what,
For the sand,
We
we
rent
kind of do.
rent the equipment, and they bring it in and set it up, and we make so many tons of, we'd sift out sand and
stone.
corn, build roads with and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you know, we had our own supply, but late years, it's been cheaper
To buy it
to
in.
buy gravel or buy sand at least from Burrell's or whoever.
Mhm.
But I mean, as long as we got it sitting there, that's
That
a
can
good
shift
option.
again.
But if we didn't have it sitting there, the
But-
price goes up.
That's equity we
Yeah.
have right there sitting.
Yeah.
That's
It
equity.
is.
But I
But
think,
it's not really depreciating.
No, it's not.
Very minimal erosion
well,
over a decade,
Let's
20
face it.
years.
by the time the rocks rot, we will too. So
We will have 100 years prior.
So
A lot of
I
that.
didn't really know, I mean, he asked me, John has talked about renting it out, I was just gonna ask him, like, is this a big ongoing, or Do you want me
I
to
think-
leave it alone?
I personally think that we should not do it. And
Yeah, I think
Okay.
hold on to it, if like, if
Okay.
we get to
So I won't
a
even bring
dire
it up.
financial situation, then we can look at it, but we are not there.
And the only
Yeah, we
other,
just bought, what, 10 acres, like
Yeah,
for about 4 years?
see, we probably got enough there to go us, if we turn right on and just used our own, we probably got enough to go us for years and years and years.
Right.
And that's.
but if we
that's
let
now,
somebody come in, because that's the other thing.
They'll get
My,
chipped away fast.
If we don't use it now.
my
sooner or
husband said
later
the same
somebody else
thing.
will.
We would have to get aerial pictures, like with a, whatever you call it, drone,
And it would be
to
hard
make sure they're
to-
not taking more than
Well-
what they said, and that'd be hard to determine.
Yeah, you'd have to do GPR and all that, and, oh my gosh, that's so expensive.
Well,
It would
we
eat
have
any
to-
profits that we've made.
Yeah, and we have to, for our own use, we have to, every so many years, have an engineer drawing, apply for a mining permit for us. Figure what we're gonna do, where we're gonna go, how much we're taking,
Right.
and all that, but it's, you know.
And we did get that, that's all done, the mining permit's
we
been,
have to-
all
we have to
reestablished.
But I think it's a good thing to have in our back pocket, that just, such a
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
And the other thing I was gonna ask him is, we voted to, I told you about the dog, we had to have the extra. I already called the SPCA, but I don't know, do we need an agreement written up? I gotta send her the I have her address, we gotta send her the W-9. So I'm gonna ask his advice, if he should write up a small thing.
I think there should be
We should have
something,
something, right?
tied to her, we're paying
Okay.
her, I think we should
Okay.
have something.
Okay, and I'm just gonna ask him that.
I don't think it needs to be the most detailed thing, but we should have something in writing, saying what we're paying for. So we need to have it on file anyway.
Right, so I didn't know if we should have him do that, or if we could just write
Well, at
something up.
least we could.
I'm gonna ask him what his advice is, or,
You write it the job description. Then we expect-
well,
this is
I
what we
don't think
expect
it's gonna be
from
a county thing, because it's just a stipend. She's getting a 1 year, 1,200.
Well, we sign
For us-
contracts, like if, when we have this building cleaned, we sign a contract with the cleaner.
Yeah, so I think
It's the
he,
same
like,
situation,
she's
we
our
have some kind of
emergency
contract.
contact number. It doesn't have to be a
Right.
5-page thing, just
No.
one thing.
Yeah.
So, but I want to ask him his advice on that. And I think that's it.
Besides, if it comes up with a contract this year, we can use that same contract next year.
Right, so, like I said, I'll try to get with Pete to see, I don't know if they've got any figures yet, but especially if we pay the ambulance out of our sales tax revenue, if the sales tax revenue has gone down, I don't think we can go higher.
No,
I don't think we can go higher, because I don't know where we'd get the money.
I mean, especially considering how much we've paid for an ambulance service that, has been non-operational for a good chunk of the year this year.
And I mean, we did do every 6 months and 6 months. I think we should change to quarterly next year. Every quarter. Just in case they do go out and they can't find staff.
It covers us for at least 3 months.
But I mean, that's up to you guys. I mean, I'm just worried because they're
Well,
having,
you know how I feel. I
they're
said
really
quarterly last
having
year.
a difficult
Yeah.
time.
I think I'm on board with you there.
We're
We do
not taking
almost
it,
everything else
we're not
quarterly.
taking it away from them, we're just breaking it up a little bit.
Yeah,
And hopefully they'll get their footing and we'll do some mutual calls and pick up some transports and make their income. Because they still might end up in these places that they've lost contracts. They still might end up in there. They're gonna be called to them. And, you know, they can.
And Columbus might join them. We don't know yet.
So,
Because I know Sherburne's hurting too.
right,
They can't find people and staffing, and I think it's an overall problem, because that's what we asked, if you're buying another ambulance, you're gonna be able to find staffing.
Well, they drove the requirement so high that you can't get anybody.
Yeah.
and they
Yeah.
continue.
It's
It's
crazy.
just the protocols
and
and the
the-
updates that we have to do as
Yeah.
EMTs are significant. I just, matter of fact, had to take tests today that was due by 8/1. So I mean, these things that they keep adding for the EMTs to make sure that they have them, even for our volunteers.
speaking of training, have you checked your email?
Well,
Did you get a thing from HSI?
you can thank the unions for that, because they tried to push all the
Who's
rules on it, but
HSI?
anyway.
It's a shame
For
because
CPR.
our department, South Berlin,
Oh,
we
we're
have
doing
7
CPR
EMTs on,
With
and
them?
we're moving. They're rocking.
Yeah, I have his number. Did I send it to you?
I signed up for both these already. Did
Oh,
that
you
go
s-
over a week ago?
Oh, you signed up for BOCES?
Yeah.
Oh,
They've all started their online training.
Do we need a
So
motion
I-
to close this meeting?
okay, yeah, maybe. How about that?
I
Okay,
make a motion to close the meeting at
Public
14 PM.
and then we're gonna August
second.
5th, next
Thanks,
Tuesday.
April.
You're welcome.
All in favor?
What
Aye.
time next Tuesday? 6 p.m.?
Yeah.
I feel like there's something going on that day, but I can't remember.
We're going to get here and you're gonna be missing, then we'll know what was going on.
Did I send you the guy that would do it for us?
I don't remember when. It's been so chaotic. I couldn't tell you.
We're gonna get together after you read over this? Yeah, okay. So call me.